Hello, hello.
Hello. We are in the dark now.
Yeah.
Looks
We
pretty.
got tased again.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we got drugged again. Like, it's not even like a tase. It's like a syringe.
Yeah.
We're getting roofied. We got roofied by Amicus. That's our introduction to him.
Yeah. And people are like, that's so hot.
He roofies us and kidnaps us. Yeah.
The gay community loves it. Look, people can't say anything about Leo. It takes so long for any suspect things to happen.
Literally. Amicus is right out the gate. You're a lesser being, so you just do what I say. So get in my space car so I can suck your dick.
Yeah.
Did that happen? Like word for word?
No. What do you think? Is Amy Boy a top or bottom?
I don't know. He seems a little timid interacting with a human, even though he's like a buff wolf man.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a bottom. I feel like he's a bottom bitch.
Ooh. Okay. I float in a void of nothingness. And not even blackness. Nothingness. The feeling of having no sense of self. The boundaries of my being having no boundaries. It makes me panic. I'm still here, but nothing else exists. Am I all there is? I feel the borders of my sanity start to bend and break. It only lasts a moment before something massive and all-encompassing grabs hold of me. Instantly, I'm comforted, calmed by a sense of complete security. All is all as it should be. I crack my eyes open to a gray ceiling, the familiar hum of the ship in my ears. My back aches as I feel my hands bunch up underneath me, making me ache uncomfortably. The numbness isn't there like last time. Instead, it just feels like I woke up from a deep sleep. I can tell I'm back in the utility closet laying on the shag rug, but the door is open, allowing me to actually see. Slowly, I turn my head just a bit, and I'm able to vaguely make out the small deck that I'd just been in. I see Amicus to the far right, both his paws resting on the counter, with the food dispenser, looking down at a panel. He's got his back angled at me, 1 foot crossed behind the other, his tail swishing back and forth while he mumbles to himself. As slowly as I can, I turn over onto my side, and trying not to let out a groan of relief as my back and hands are relieved of pressure. I grimace through the pain and having blood rush back into my fingers. And that's when I realize that my hands are tied at the wrists behind my back with a cord of some kind. Oh, okay. I'm sure Amicus likes that kind of thing.
Or he just like had like an electrical cord lying around.
Oh.
It's kind of the impression I get a little bit, but whatever. He could be into it. I don't know.
Be into it.
I don't know him. I don't know this fella. He just kidnapped me and took me to fucking space.
Yeah.
What's all this duct tape and rope for?
Right?
Suspect.
It's just a hobby.
Right?
It's
Right?
just a hobby.
Amicus is like full titties out all the time.
All the
so,
time. He really kind of is, though.
The ends of it dangle through my fingers, and it feels smooth and metallic.
He's into it.
Yeah, he is. Some slow movement with my hands tell me immediately that they haven't been tied well.
Oh, he's shit at it. Hell yeah.
My left hand is fairly secure, but the loop around my right is loose. I get the feeling that if I pull hard enough, I might be able to slip through. And just like that, it comes out. My shoulders jerk when I do it, and I freeze, waiting to see if Amicus noticed. He goes on staring down at the panel, leaning forward to rest his chin on his fist.
Cassius is probably going to figure it out right away. I know it.
Amicus sighs and hunches over. I let out the breath I'm holding as quietly as I can before I start looking around, moving my head as little as possible. On the shelves are a variety of different objects that I can't identify. They all have a heavy industrial look to them, and I know that I could use any of them as a weapon. There's a long pipe-like object at the end of the end of the bottom shelf, and I imagine hefting that in both hands, bringing the end of it down on the top of the stupid wolf's. Amicus suddenly straightens up and I stiffen, closing my eyes. I hear the wolf move, padding in my direction. That continues until there's a pause, and I can feel his presence standing in the doorway. I crack open an eye just a tiny bit to see what he might be doing. I get a vague image of him standing over me, looking down.
Hello? Human? Marco?
I don't move, and I breathe as evenly as I can.
Hello?
He must know I'm awake. I can feel myself shaking from all the tension.
Damn it.
Amicus mumbles to himself as he turns away, moving back towards the deck. That's when I realize that this might be my best chance to make my move. He's not going to take me back. He's knocked me out twice, and that's reason enough to do what I'm about to do. As quietly as I can, I roll over and reach out for the metal pipe. But by some miracle, I managed not to clank it against the metal rack it's on. Quietly, I bring it up in both hands as I stand up. It's heavy, a lot heavier than I expected, but I can manage it. I focus on the retreating wolf's back and move at a half run, my bare feet allowing me to quietly pad towards him. Despite that, I see his ears come up at the last second, his body starting to shift in a way that tells me he's about to turn around. And I swing. What happens next is something that I can't explain. I aim for his head, wanting to cause as much damage as possible. Not really thinking about the consequences of what might happen if I seriously injure or kill him.
Like, literally, what would you do? What do you know about flying this spaceship? Absolutely nothing.
I mean,
Fuck around and find out.
right? Look,
Like, facts.
if he's not going to take me back anyway, at least I am responsible for taking myself back if he's out of the
I
picture.
will say, be pretty dope. Have a spaceship.
It would be
right?
kind of cool.
Right?
Granted, yes.
There we go. We're going to kill the wolf.
No.
But for some inexplicable reason, the trajectory of my swing suddenly dips down, as if caused by some invisible magnet, making me miss Amicus's head. And a strange force doesn't lessen the power of my swing, though, and it carries through to land with a hard, meaty thump into the side of the wolf's thick neck.
Ah!
Amicus cringes, both paws moving to cover the back and side of his neck, dropping into a crouch. He looks back at me, his eyes wide and wild, an expression that sends a shot of fear into my body. I suddenly see him as a wild animal, a wild, scared, and very angry animal. I raise the pipe again over my head to bring down on the head I just missed. But Amicus is fast. He leaps up from the crouch in an upward and forward motion, straightening his chest, straight into my chest. I wheeze, but manage to stay on my feet as the wolf carries me backwards to slam against the wall of the deck. Amicus snarls into my face, teeth bared, one eye wincing shut. I struggle, but there's no way. He handles me like a rag doll, like a toy. This must be how someone feels during a wild animal attack, completely helpless, suddenly wondering why evolution left us so damn defenseless.
Human squishy.
Yeah,
Right?
even squishy. What the hell are you doing? Ah!
Amicus yells at me as he lets go of one of my wrists, put a paw to his neck, cringing as he does.
Damn it!
I struggle with my free hand, grabbing Amicus's face and trying to gouge his eyes and nose.
We really going ham on this man's, huh?
Yeah.
You guys have pretty fat bobbies.
Yeah, you know.
They're pretty fat.
It's what the people want. You know, he's got a bit of a tummy, you know.
The bulge.
He does have a bulge. He's friend shaped, as it were.
French shaped. Greatly French shaped.
The wolf immediately lets go of his neck and grabs the pipe. He wrenches it away, but I try to hold on and almost get lifted off my feet. He swings it once more, then violently in the other direction, throws me to the floor of the deck as I loosen my grip on my weapon. Amicus advances on me as I lay flat on my back, staring up at him wide-eyed, realizing how big of a mistake I've made, thinking I could handle a 7-foot-tall, muscle-bound wolf.
Oh, he is actually very big.
Yeah, he big.
7 foot.
Yeah, he big boy.
Huh. Very good.
I wonder if he's I wonder if he's going to come at me with the pipe, but he throws it to the other side. He starts to lean over me, still snarling.
You little prick. This time I'll bind you up to your shoulders. How does that sound?
He grabs up one of my arms, trying to pull me up, but I go limp.
Get up, otherwise I'll make you.
He gets my other arm. That's when I notice his wide stance over me and a particular bulge between his legs.
Oh, are we gonna kick him in the nuts?
I hardly think about it, and drawing back 1 foot, I launch it as hard as I can into his crotch.
Oh my god.
I feel a distinctly soft form get flattened under my foot as I get trapped between the force of my kick and the substantial weight of Amicus's body. If there was any doubt in my mind that this male alien would be affected any differently compared to a male human, his reaction quashed it. Okay. Amicus freezes, eyes wide, hunching over me even further while his thighs snap together, trapping my foot.
Oops.
We both stayed frozen for an awkward length of time as I stare at what I'd just done. And that's when I see that device hanging on his waistband, the one that he's been using to knock me out. I struggle to pull my foot free of the surprisingly tight embrace of his thighs, while at the same time pulling my hands out out of his now limp grasp. I reach for his waist, grabbing the device. Amicus, probably distracted by the unexpected nutshot, doesn't seem to notice, and I finally yank my foot free. As I stumble to my feet, the alien half-heartedly grabs at me, and I struggle against his paws, before reaching for his red cape and pulling it over his head. Amicus finally stumbles back, one paw flying to his crotch, the other struggling with his cape as he stays bent over, mouth hanging open, making a weird gasping sound like he was holding his breath. I look at the device in my hand, desperately trying to understand how to work it. A glass panel takes up most of the face of the device, like a phone, but 2 metal prongs stick out of one end.
So it is a taser, yeah.
Yeah. I frantically push at the screen, and it comes to life, displaying a vertical bar. About 1/10 of it is filled from the bottom with a blue light. I push up with my thumb, waiting for something to happen, for electricity to start arcing between the prongs or something. Indeed, the bar fills up with the slide of my thumb. I push it all the way up until the color turns a dark violet. I hear a snarl and see Amicus finally tear the cape off before he comes at me again. One paw still over his crotch, the other reaching out for me. I don't have time to think. I just duck under his approaching paw and press the prong as hard as I can against his body. It sinks into his stomach, and I hear the wolf make a huff sound into my ear. There's a pause of as nothing seems to happen. Then I press harder and squeeze the device and the result is instant. There's no sound, but Amicus's body seizes violently, shaking as if he's having a seizure.
Oops.
The muscles in his stomach tense hard and push the device back out a few inches. I hold it there, not wanting to let up in case it isn't enough, in case he'll just recover and come at me again. After a few seconds, the wolf's seizings and shudderings stop on his own. I start to pull back and get a glimpse of Amicus's face. His muzzle's hanging open, foam and drool hanging from his chin. His eyes roll back, rolling back into his head. It's a scary sight, so I try to back away, and Amicus comes at me. The contact with the device having been the only thing keeping him balanced. His weight comes down, takes me down, and the next thing I know is that I'm flat on my back, struggling to breathe as Amicus's incredible weight crushes me into the metal deck. He practically envelops me with his soft, furry body, his big head resting on my chest. I stare down at him, watching as his black lips and eyelids twitch, his tongue hanging out as he makes sporadic snorting sounds. I gasp and strain as I spend the next minute working myself out from under him, grimacing as his foamy drool smears on my chest. Finally, I manage to break free of his dead weight and crawl a few feet away, spending a few moments catching my breath. I look back at his still twitching form, his rump stuck slightly up in the air. I wonder how long I have before he wakes up. There's a long, shiny, thin cord around my left wrist, and I start to work at the knot. It's a strange material, smooth and metallic, yet it bends as easily as rope. It's a pain in the ass getting it undone, though. It's like the dumb wolf just put as many knots into it as he could. He probably has no idea what he was doing, and now it makes sense why I was able to get out of this so easily. While I'm undoing the mess, I keep looking over at him. The twitching and snorts are subsiding, which I'm not sure is a good thing or not. Come on. I grunt as I finally pull the last tangle out, straightening the metal rope thing out in both my hands. I look between it and the knocked-out wolf in front of me, giving my head a little shake. What the fuck is even happening? I get to work, planting my butt on Amicus's as I pull both of my paws behind his back. I have some difficulty keeping my balance as I lift his heavy arms and start winding the rope around his waist. I'm not exactly an expert at tying hands behind backs either, but I feel far more confident in my work than Amicus ever should have in his own. I guess his carelessness makes some sort of sense considering I'm a tiny human and he's a giant canine. He's probably thought he'd just be able to toss me back into the closet if I got free. I look over my work, somewhat satisfied with how neat and tight the binding is. I shift and almost slide off the wolf's ass, forcing me to make my put my hands back and steady myself on his thighs. They're thick and heavily muscled, and that makes me realize that they might also be a problem. While binding his arms is a start, I have no doubt in my mind he'd be able to take me out with a few nasty kicks.
That would be funny.
I stand up and start looking around for more of the rope, but that's when I notice something strange happening outside the windows. Thin streaks of white light stretch and bend, moving slowly from the front before arcing in long lines to the side and disappearing from sight. I stare, mesmerized, then suddenly feel sick at the sight. I avert my eyes, looking at the wall while I watch the strange light show out of the corner of my eye. Are those stars? Are we in some sort of wormhole or something? What was it? What was it called? Hyperspace?
You know Marco watched Star Wars. He knows what hyperspace is. Fucking fool.
What? No. We're gonna use a column like in the Xenosaga.
Oh, that's way better. Yeah. No facts. Facts. That's way better.
I always thought that terminology was really cool. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're just gonna use a column to get to this area.
Yeah.
Like,
It's pretty cool. What a game.
right? I start to get the. Oh, you're never finishing those games.
Well,
You'll restart, get to the commander, and stop again.
All of them, maybe not. I would at least like to restart and beat the first one.
You won't.
Says who?
That was me.
How do you know you're gonna be right?
Because I've been right for 14 years.
That's irrelevant. Your luck's gonna run out sometime. Can I switch the bet from Final
Nope.
Fantasy to Xenosaga?
Nope.
Please.
You can add it if you want.
No! That's no. No. Damn it.
You know, you can up the ante and be like, you'll owe me 200 if you don't beat both of them by
That's
the end of the year.
absolutely stupid. That would be really dumb of me to do. I'm not gonna make it harder and make the consequences worse on myself. Hell no. That'll be next year's bet. Is I'll beat Xenosaga.
I start to get the feeling that I'm very, very far from Earth now, which makes me even more sick. I wanted to keep my mind off of it, so I set about searching the deck for more of the metal rope and trying to ignore that we might be moving at the speed of light into the depths of space. I don't have much luck. Most everything in the ship is flush to its surface, with very few moving parts. I end up going back to the utility closet, and that's when I see that the metal poly with the long cord sticking out of it, the one I'd knocked off the shelf earlier. I lean over and pull at it, deciding that it should hold, even if it's more plasticky and not metal. 5 minutes later, and I have his legs bound together. I search around for the taser for another minute before finding it pinned between Amicus's chest and the deck. It's hot and sweaty, so I finally sit back against the opposite wall, staring at the face-down wolf and his bindings. I weigh the taser in my hand, going over scenarios in my mind for what I'm going to say to him when he wakes up.
That was exciting.
Was it? I'm not sure how long it takes. An hour, maybe 2, before Amicus starts to stir. First he groans, then he rolls over a few times, then draws up his bound legs before trying to work his paws free. Finally he opens his eyes, and because he's on his side, I'm the first thing he sees. He squints, frowns, then groans again, turning over onto his stomach.
Look at that pouting face. What a bitch. What the hell?
I mean, all the characters in this game are bitches.
That's good.
Bitches.
Only bitches.
Only bitch.
Only bitches.
I clear my throat and swallow, trying not to show how nervous I am. Hey, what the hell? You tased me again.
What?
Amicus turns his head and looks at me again, and then looks away, letting out another groan.
Oh, my stomach. What did you do?
Exactly what you did to me. I hold up the taser, turning it in the light so the wolf can fully see it. Amicus stares at it for a moment before letting his face fall back to the floor of the deck.
Oh, God. I feel like I'm on fire. Did you use it at full power? What the hell is wrong with you?
And despite my fear and anxiety over the entire situation, I'm able to feel indignant. Me? You did the same to me, then lied to me, then tased me again, then tied me up. You're crazy.
I would never use full power on anyone. Ugh.
He says that. Amicus seems to ignore my rant, as he rolls onto his back, arching over his tied paws, probably stretching out the muscles that I'd hit with the taser. I wait a while longer, listening to the grunts, groans, and complaints as Amicus continues to whine. I'm not that stupid, though. I can tell he's stalling for time, trying to figure out a way to get out of this. I stand up. Take me home. Amicus opens one eye, glaring at me.
What?
I said, take me home. Amicus goes quiet for a moment, his eyes closed, then he forces himself to sit up, visibly cringing as he's forced to use his stomach muscles. He scoots back with more complaints until he plants his back against the wall behind him. I see his shoulders shift, his biceps bulging, and can tell he's working and trying and testing the resistance. I raise the taser. Stop moving, or I'm gonna hit you again.
Fuck off.
I move towards him, brandishing the taser like a sword.
Hey, hey, hey! Idiot.
Amicus kicks his feet up, trying to block my attack. Now I see the real fear in his eyes. Then stop moving and tell me how we get back. I don't really want to shock him again. It did look really painful. On top of that, I don't want to knock him out for hours while our little ship is hurling through space. Amicus glares at me for a moment, his feet still in the air before he slowly lowers them.
I'll show you if you let me go.
I actually laugh, and the sound seems to startle the wolf. Are you kidding me? Why would I trust you at all after what you've done to me? Amicus's ears flatten. Tell me where the hell you're taking me and why. Otherwise, I will zap you again.
What?
He seems at a loss for words.
I can't tell you.
What a bitch. I glare for a moment. I consider just jabbing him again right then and there. Why not? The wolf remains silent as he looks away from me. I feel myself getting even more angry. I'm tired of this alien holding me hostage. Well, I guess I'll just have to figure it out on my own then. I turn away and start moving towards the front deck. Amicus shifts around behind me.
What? You don't know the first thing about this ship. Don't.
The big wolf grunts as he tries to get his feet under him.
Don't touch anything.
I ignore him and move to the panel, looking over them. The big one in the middle looks promising, and I start poking at it. I know I won't be able to figure out how to turn the ship around, but the wolf's worry over me touching the panels gives me an idea. I could probably mess things up to the point where he'll have to tell me what he's doing, or even how I might be able to get back. There aren't many other options aside from torturing him, something I don't really want to do. The lines and shapes move with my fingers, and Roman numerals pop up randomly here and there.
Hey, what are you doing?
Amicus huffs and puffs behind me, just as the circle appears and compresses around my fingers, like it's zeroed in on something. I look back to see Amicus hobbling up onto his tied together feet, looking just about ready to topple over.
You have no idea what.
I feel a sort of vibration under my fingers, not unlike my phone's haptic feedback. Overriding sleep mode, locking on to Stellar 556425.
No! Calm. Stop blast directive.
Voice commands for piloting are reserved for the Emperor, Amicus.
Human, stop.
Amicus starts hopping towards me on his bound feet, and I stumble to the side as so he doesn't run into me.
No, no, no.
The wolf stares down at the panel, and I look out the window as the stars seem to curve all around. all the way to my right, making me feel sick again. And the next thing I know, the cabin is lit up by the ominous red glow. The windows suddenly tint, blocking the worst of the light, and that's when I'm about to see a massive ball of fire in front of the ship.
Oops.
The size of it is incredible. Orbital trajectory will intersect with photosphere. Ensure safety straps are in place, making corrective maneuvers. I only have a moment to wonder what the hell Calm is talking about before Amicus and I are thrown sideways into the left window of the ship. The impact is mostly cushioned by Amicus's body, and I hear him yell and curse under me.
Move! Get in the seat!
I struggle to reach to get to the seat in front of me, but I can barely lift my hand. The gravity of the star is so powerful, it feels like it's going to suck out my soul. And then I'm suddenly boosted. There we go. Boosted by something behind me, and I look back. The moment making me feel like my neck is going to break. I see Amicus with his back planted against the window. His feet pressed me up to the seat. I managed to grab the armrest and pull myself into it. And now the left armrest is digging painfully into my back, making it feel as if a professional wrestler is slamming me into the backbreaker. Amicus jumps from the window, high enough that his feet land against the right side of my chair. Then he jumps again, managing to wedge himself in the footwell of the opposite seat. Heat shields are compromised. Expect heat damage to outer layer of ship in 30 seconds. With a great deal of snarling and gasping, he pushes himself awkwardly into the seat, both feet planted against the panels in front of him for leverage. He turns to me, teeth bared, a determined look in his eyes.
Look at your right armrest. Do you see the green panel between the red buttons?
Through the shock, I'm somewhat able to understand him and look down.
Now drag your finger across it to the left. It'll steer the ship.
I feel a panic starting to rise in my chest at the idea of steering a goddamn spaceship. What?
Just do it. Point us away from the star.
I do as I'm told, sliding a thumb gingerly over the green panel. And slowly the ship steers, pointing away from the star, shifting the incredible force of the gravity until it's pulling us back into the seats.
Now see the lever in between us?
Yeah?
Pull it down.
Now reaching my hand out into almost impossible as it gets pulled back towards the star behind us. Gritting my teeth, I lean forward as hard as I can, practically throwing myself forward and grabbing onto the lever. Then gravity does the rest of the work, and the lever comes down hard. I lose my grip and get thrown back into my seat. The gravity increases twofold, and for a moment it feels like my entire body is being crushed into a pancake. And then the burning orange light is gone, and the deck goes black. Running diagnostics. Amicus?
Yes, Calm?
Damage to the ship is severe. Recovery mode is required.
Enter recovery mode.
Stand by. Okay, that'll probably... Well, we'll end the part here.
What a kooky time, huh? Just no winning. You can't leave Amicus untied, but you can't tie him up either.
No, you can leave him tied.
Well, I mean, we barely got out of that.
Yeah, know what that means?
What does that mean?
We can leave him tied.
Oh, shit, yeah. Facts.
There we go.
We basically know how to fly the
Got
ship
there.
now. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
We'll see you around, everyone.